that we portray Islam and all Muslims as bad, and I don't see them represented here.
There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25%, according to all intelligence services around the world. That leaves 75% of them peaceful people. But when you look at 15 to 25% of the world Muslim population, you're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization.
Look at these kids. They're throwing stones at people coming out of this celebration. They're welcomed into France. They're given all the benefits of living in a very civilized, beautiful country like France. And people are simply coming out of a Catholic church and Muslim teens are throwing stones at them.
A group calling itself the Muslim Youth Project runs regular events for young children. In this one held late last year, the boys rally under the banner Soldiers of Khilafah, the 6-year-old proclaiming and promise to die fighting to end democracy in Australia.
Stoning for adultery, amputations for theft, death for apostates, and second-class status for Christians and Jews. This is life under Sharia law, the Islamic system practiced in countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Great Britain. Yes, Great Britain.
York County Sheriff Bruce Bryant is talking about this 34-acre site called Islamville, a self-contained Islamic community. All of the residents here accept this man as their ultimate leader, Sheikh Mubarak Ali Jalani. The report also says Jalani is the leader of 7 covert paramilitary training compounds in the U.S., with one of those in York County. According to the 2006 law enforcement report, Jalani opened his compounds near significant infrastructure targets. Islamville is less than 5 miles away from the Catawba nuclear facility.
Something else that Muslim immigration appears to have brought to Norway is what some here call a rape epidemic. Recent police statistics showed that in the capital of Oslo, 100% of assault rapes between strangers were committed by immigrant non-Western males, and 9 out of 10 of their victims were native Norwegian women.
So you believe America, Great Britain, all of Europe will be Islamic states living under Sharia eventually?
Inevitably. I'm convinced. I'm 100% certain that the Sharia will be implemented in America and in Britain one day. The question is when and how it will come to fruition.
But the New Testament, we don't believe in that. To you, all you guys need to go.
No, I think this religion is provocative.
Okay, they kick us out of the festival because they can't spare any police officers to protect us. And here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I come to you as a devout Muslim and somebody that is very concerned about our country, and not only its polarization, but its paralysis in dealing with this problem. We formed our organization to address this, but yet we've not been able to even move one step forward significantly because of that paralysis. One camp on the polarization refuses to believe that any Muslim could be radicalized, and yet we see, as we've discussed here until now, a significant increase in the number, an exponential increase in the number of radicalized Muslims that may not be from within our communities that we know, but are Muslims nonetheless.
The French people are increasingly living in fear. They fear the imposition of Islamic law and the organized violence against any French person, including the police.
Not only is the problem being ignored, the French left and many mayors actively promote the growth and spread of sectarian Islam, for good reason. Muslims have become an important constituency of the left. 90% voted for Socialist President Hollande in the last election.
Assalamu alaikum. Many other Americans have Muslims in their families or have lived in a Muslim-majority country. I know because I am one of them. To the people and leaders of the Islamic Republic of Iran, your great and celebrated culture Over many centuries, your art, your music, literature, and innovation have made the world a better and more beautiful place. Since our founding, American Muslims have enriched the United States. Let there be no doubt, Islam is a part of America.
Bow to the Muslim king, while he did not do it to the British Queen of England. And by bowing, he showed the world that I am subservient. I do bow down to you as a Muslim king.
Presidential candidate Barack Obama is trying to change political fashion. He gave a speech in Iowa City today, and he wasn't wearing an American flag pin. Those pins have become synonymous with politicians since 9/11. Obama says he doesn't like how the pin has come to represent patriotism in America.
America is not and never will be at war with Islam. ISIL is not Islamic.
Syria, we backed, I believe, in some cases, some of the wrong people, and not in the right part of the Free Syrian Army. And that's a little confusing to people. It's going to show some of those weapons from Benghazi ended up in the hands of ISIS. So we helped build ISIS.
When they are less than 2% of the population, Muslims are friendly and kind and good neighbors, following Muhammad's rule of be a friend until you are strong enough to crush them.
Every Friday night on Craig Baker's farm, people come to see the pigs run. It's a new attraction in Katy, Texas, and it's all because of a feud between Baker and his new Muslim neighbors.
Mr. Futa said that he thought it would be a good idea if I considered packing up my stuff and moving out.
Our vision is to have an integrated facility that not only for prayers, but for all other social activities, so there will be a sense of a community.
The association purchased the land next to the pig farm in September. 7 days later, Baker says Fatu asked him to leave his family farm or at least get rid of the pigs.
From 5% on, they exercise an excessive influence in proportion to their percentage of the population. For example, they will push for the introduction of halal food, which is clean food by Islamic standards, thereby securing food preparation jobs for Muslims. They will increase pressure on supermarket chains to feature halal on their shelves, along with threats for failure to comply. This is occurring in France, Philippines, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Trinidad and Tobago.
When they reach 8 to 10%, they become aggressive towards Jews and Christians. They begin forming Muslim neighborhoods where only Muslims are welcome and begin setting up Sharia law courts. Street demonstrations with the signs, Islam shall rule the world, freedom go to hell.
This is the message to stop oppression.
Police burn in hell. British police burn in hell.
Yeah, because
no real Muslim wants anyone to burn in hell.
Yeah, but for what they've done, for the consequences.
You can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose. You can't.
You either believe or you disbelieve.
You know
you
what?
You choose to wear this, I choose to wear that.
You and I will
have to. You look naked on the street.
After 80%, expect daily intimidation and violent jihad, some state-run ethnic cleansing, and even some genocide, as these nations drive out the infidels and move toward 100% Muslim, such as has been experienced and in some ways is ongoing in Bangladesh, Egypt, Gaza, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq.
There is a major effort taking place to curb free speech in this country, irrespective of our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. And free speech advocates say the United Nations has come down on precisely the wrong side. The United Nations has adopted what it calls a resolution combating defamation of religions. The United Nations now wants to make that anti-blasphemy resolution binding on member nations, including, of course, our own. That would make it a crime in the United States if the United Nations were to have its way to criticize religion, in particular, Islam.
The future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam.
I pledge you that we shall neither commit nor provoke aggression, that we shall neither flee nor invoke the threat of force, that we shall never negotiate out of fear, and we shall never fear to negotiate. Terror is not a new weapon. Throughout history, it has been used by those who could not prevail either by persuasion or example. But inevitably they fail, either because men are not afraid to die for a life worth living, or because the terrorists themselves came to realize that free men cannot be frightened by threats and that aggression would meet its own response. And it is in the light of that history that every nation today should know, be he friend or foe, that the United States has both the will and the weapons to join free men in standing up to their responsibilities.
You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life.